Hey, so are you serious? You hit someone?
Big old bam, 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 bam!
Oh my god, on the course.
You're gonna get some smoke. That's about as good a 24 hours as anyone in the world of golf can spend.
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Sick Golf Trips podcast, where everyday golfers share their stories, budgets, formats, mistakes, and more so that you can get ideas and get inspired to make a memory with your own sick golf trip. I'm your host, 𝐸𝐿, along with my co-host, Berkeley Hoagland. How's it going, Burke?
What's up, Care? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
Doing pretty good. Although, I haven't heeded your advice in getting out to the golf course more. It's just been hard to get out with times. I got the rents in town and everything. But I think you got out this weekend, yeah? How was it? How are you shooting?
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Carrie, when you're golfing with a group of guys, there's always that one or two guys that could just kind of, they get on everybody's skin. You know what I mean?
That's usually you.
Yeah, I could be one of those guys for sure. But, some particular guys that everybody knows, like, keep an eye on them. You know what I mean? They cheat, Everybody knows they cheat. And they all say, don't bet with that guy because somehow he's going to always try to twist stuff around, make his own rules up and stuff. And that's exactly what happened yesterday. Man, oh man. Basically, Carrie, I went back into my days of being on the ice and I jacked this fool up with about freaking 10 uppercuts right to his freaking kisser and busted his face wide open. I tell you, I wasn't even mad, Carrie. I never even threw a kick. I didn't even throw an elbow. I didn't even take him down. Just getting big old bam, 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 bam.
Did he try to take your money with cheating?
Oh man, well, I was already up $20. You know what I mean? You just, when you're not just golfing with one person. You got two other people, and when they're both telling you, "Hey, dude, you're wrong. That's wrong. You can't do that. No, it's wrong." And then the worst part where he really messed up was he kicked the club out of my hand.
What?
Kicked it. Yeah, he kicked my club and it went freaking flying. Almost hit one of the guys. That's when I was like, all right, I think this guy needs some of this smoke. And that's what happened.
Wait, so are you serious? You hit someone?
Oh, probably about 10 times.
What?
I'm not kidding you.
Are you serious?
I am dead serious, man. See, everybody thinks I'm a funny guy, but they don't know my history. They don't know what I've been doing. You know what I mean? They don't. I don't tell nobody. You're not really supposed to say anything. But
wait, did you know this guy?
What?
Did you know him before?
Yeah, I knew him before. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It don't matter who it is. It's like, you kick my club out of my hands, or you do something, or you try to you're gonna get some smoke.
So did he get any shots on you or no?
Hell no, guy. He ripped my shirt. He literally ripped my shirt off he ripped it.
So where did this happen during parking lot pimping or what?
No, this happened on like the 14th hole.
Oh my God, on the course.
On the course, yeah. Yeah, dude, 14th hole. Oh, and I whooped his ass. And I literally held back. Like I didn't, like, normally I would have took the guy down and choked him out, but I didn't. I didn't want to pull the stuff I really, really, really know. I didn't want to do any of that. So
did you finish the round? Did you guys finish the round, all of you?
Yeah, I basically was like, yo, man, get the fuck out of here.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. I mean, it is. It's like, you guys people have to understand, like, when you're playing for money, you've got to finish your putts, you've got to listen to the rules, and I'm all about, like, hey man, can I get a relief here? And if the person you're playing against says, no, dude, you don't get any relief, or no, why would you? And then everybody else is saying the same thing, then I'd be like, oh, all right, I guess I'm gonna have to figure out a freaking golf shot here, But, when you go over that line and you're like, no, I'm going to take my relief anyway, then no, dude,
So the golf buddy, the cart buddy with him, he didn't regulate at all? He was in
Well,
on
he
it?
was kind of going at it with that guy all around too, because this particular guy always tried to change rules, and it's just somebody that everybody knows. Like, you gotta watch him. You know what I mean? Like, especially if you're playing for money. That's why not a lot of people play him for money, because you gotta watch him. And I was telling his golf partner guy, I was like, yeah, you better watch him. And he goes, oh yeah, I know. So he actually stopped betting him after the 9, and the guy challenged me. When you play stroke play, I like to play like, you got a par to win the hole. That's what I like. So this other guy, he doesn't like that. He wants to say, if you get a 12, you freaking, if you're on hitting the 12, you got to put it out, right? So he's that way, but that's fine. Whatever way you play, you gotta stick to those rules. You know what I mean?
Yeah, as long as all participants agree, the rules are the rules once you set them, right?
Rules are the rules once you set them. So yeah. So it was like. It would have been fine if he didn't kick the club out of my hand. But then that's when I was like, okay, I probably need to put my foot down and then put my foot in his ass. That's what I needed to do.
So it's like hockey, though. Like, okay, the fight's done, and you just go, okay, we got it out of our system. We're good.
Well, he's not a hockey guy, so he's probably gonna go home and run pout. I would imagine he didn't go to work today because I blew his face up. But I did give him the old freaking. I mean, when he bent over and he gave me basically his back, right? He bent over, so I was like, "All right, you're just gonna get some uppercuts to the jaw. That's it." You know what I mean?
Jesus.
I just had the okie doke going. I wasn't fucking around. It's like, okay, all right, now what? Okay, now what?
I mean, and you got big hands. You got some George Foreman weight behind you. Say, it can't feel good.
No, definitely not. You know what I mean? Like, definitely not. It don't matter who you are, bro. It doesn't matter who you are. You know that Mike Tyson thing, right?
Everybody got a plan. You get punched in the face,
You
right?
get punched in the face, right? And how many times have I gotten freaking jacked? You know what I mean? Like, these days I just try to stay arm's length away. If anything happens, I'm an arm's length away. And if something comes out, I'll kick the guy in the knee or something. But, I think I went after him with my club.
That's crazy.
Oh, and then he took his club and two-handed my club, shattered my club over my knee.
So you broke your club?
Oh, he took a baseball swing and shattered it right over my leg. My
How's
club
your
was
knee?
destroyed. Oh, no, it's fine. I got 2 brand new knees, dude.
Yeah, I didn't know if there's any recovery time or what.
No, I'm good. That's all good. But hey, dude, that was my day, man. It's like that was my golf day. You know what I mean? It's like lessons were learned. Lessons were learned.
That is a day. That is crazy.
Yeah, dude. If I kick a club out of somebody's hand, I better know there might be some smoke coming, right? And if I kick a club out of somebody's hand and they don't do something about it, then who's Bubba the Fool, right? That guy's Bubba the Fool. Why would you let someone do that to you? So
That's insane. Today's sponsor is Ashdon Golf. Ashdon makes the world's most forgiving putter that you've probably never heard of. Invented by Ronnie Pritchett. His claim to fame is the center shaft dual connection point that keeps the club head smooth and straight as you bring it back and swing through the club. You can find them on the range at the Desert Springs Marriott in Palm Springs throughout the winter months and through various Southern California greens throughout the summer. All right, this week's guests, welcome Jason Kauflin from Wisconsin Golf Trips. How's it going, Jason?
Great, guys. How are you guys doing?
fantastic. So excited.
Thanks for joining us on the pod. Jason runs WisconsinGolfTrips.com. Is that correct, Jason?
That's correct.
Very cool. So maybe give us a little bit of history, how you got into this business. Had you gone on golf trips, and what overall do you do for folks?
Yeah, long story short, I was a stay-at-home dad. I raised 2 kids. My wife was the breadwinner in the house, and during all that time raising the kids, I started a golf trip for some buddies, and it went from 4 guys out in Mesquite, Nevada to 44 out in Vegas years later. So
What?
I was
44.
I got really good at all the in-betweens there, the 8s, the 12s, the 16s, learned how to deal with the courses, learned what the pitfalls were of group trips. And all along then, guys were like, hey, could you find a way to do this professionally? And I was kind of like, I kind of scoffed at it. And the way the Wisconsin golf market went, I remember after the 2010 PGA, I was like, I wonder if this is something I could do. And then when Erin Hills was awarded the U.S. Open in 2011, and I saw the future of in 2017, the U.S. Open's going to be at a facility that's about an hour away from where Whistling Straits is that hosted these PGAs. This is going to turn into something. So I had really good foresight into what Wisconsin was going to become and decided to kind of take a shot at it. And the timing on my part couldn't have been any better because about a year and a half after I got the company running, I heard of this Sand Valley property that Mike Keiser was going to open in northern Wisconsin. And I'm like, boy, how lucky could I get to kind of have this all moving? So now I've got 3 world-class facilities, resorts, all in one state that are only a few hours away from each other. I've got 10 of the top 100 U.S. public courses all in Wisconsin. And Wisconsin has become a kind of a go-to spot for groups, and I help them find their way.
So Sand Valley, that's kind of like they tried to make Bandon Dunes out in Wisconsin. Is that correct?
Yeah. So for people that don't know it, it's the same management, the same ownership, the same course designers, the same marketing team. It is basically Bandon Dunes in the Midwest. It's got a similar feel in the way the resort is set up and some of the lodging, but the courses are frameway that's been abandoned. They're totally different. They're sand based. They've got a little bit more panache. Again, both resorts are great, but it's become probably the first ask I get only because of the marketing that Sand Valley does, which is very strong. So a lot of golfers that read magazines or listen to podcasts have heard Sand Valley or read Sand Valley and want to know about it.
Well, let me ask you, how do you get paid? Do you get the groups and then they give you a percentage of how many guys you bring, or do the people that book pay you?
Yeah, the people that book. So it's a combination, Berkeley. It's to give you an example, the Kohler packages that involve Whistling Straits and Blackwolf Run, they have a tour operator program. So I get a small discount off of their packages so that by the time I add in my fees, it's going to be more than what you would do it for yourself. But a lot of people imagine me taking the rack rate on these courses and adding 20%. And no, it's nowhere close to that. It's a few percentage points higher than you would do it yourself. But I'm handling all the logistics, all the tee times, all the reservations, all the dinners, all the transportation, and also making you aware of the best way to do it. I think there's a big value add into these trips. So I was just at Erin Hills this morning seeing a group of 12 guys. And when you've got my name attached to it and you roll into Erin Hills, you're treated like, okay, this is one of Jason's guys. Let's make sure we do this right. Not to say they don't do it right for everybody, but right. I definitely look at it, Berkeley, as a win-win. You're paying a little bit more than you would on your own, but boy, you're not worrying about anything, for somebody that does this every day.
Well, I think that's absolutely worth it because especially if like me and Carrie, we're trying to figure out where we want to take a golf trip. You know what I mean? And instead of Carrie or me having to do all that logistics and deal with all that stuff, oh my God, paying someone a little extra to take all that off the plate sounds brilliant. It really does. It sounds brilliant.
Let me put it this way, Berkeley. There's not a lot of sales that goes on in my job because most people that are calling me either are excited they found me or they've dealt with a tour operator to go to Ireland or Scotland and they know the drill, So there's not a lot of like, this is why you should use me. It's more just, I probably could be charging more. That sounds stupid to say on this podcast, but if you saw in my books, I'm treating people like I'd want to be treated, plain and simple. I'm happy to pay extra, but I'm not gouging anybody. And again, the resorts, the way I'm treated at the resorts, the way my customers are treated at the resorts, it's a different element.
Those are the best businesses, is where you're your own client kind of thing, right?
Yeah. I've got friends in the media. I've got friends in other areas of golf where they're asking courses for things and asking for advertising. And it's like, no, I just call them and say, I got groups I want to bring, thanks for taking care of them. And it's just, I have a different feel when I walk around, they know how much business I try to bring. Erin Hills knows how I talk about them in the world. They know that I talk about them as one of the greatest 24-hour facilities you could ever spend in your life in the world for golf. So they're happy to have me out there selling on their behalf.
I absolutely love what you're doing. I mean, I think that is amazing. Like if you're going to show up in the morning, the guys are first coming in, they get to see you, meet you, greet you. And then your phone's on 24/7. If something goes on, they're going to call you.
Pretty much.
And they're going to know that. Yeah, they're going to know that you're going to take care of it. Now, the guy that's running it, he's got to deal with golf. He's got to get up early. He's got to get to the bus. He's got to make sure that every freaking guy's on the bus. He's got to do all that stuff. I mean, there's probably still going to be some of that going on, but man, we had a guy that was taking guys, 20, 30 guys, and he just said it was a lot of work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's very taxing. And to me, it's like when I get to the golf course, I don't want to be dealing and babysitting. You know what I mean? I want to play golf.
I've got Berkeley, I've got a mobile app that I use. That I have an itinerary builder that I use that comes with a mobile app. So before you show up, you get a mobile app that everybody can download on their phones. It's got all the shuttle times. I'm here to make the group leader look good and make his life easy. That's what my job is. And after 25 years of my knuckleheads, believe me, I know what it feels like to you're trying to enjoy your trip as well. It's a challenge. I just got back from a group of 30 to Aberdeen, Scotland in April that included 6 non-golfing spouses, which was something was new. I've never really welcomed that before or opened it up to that. And they were great. They did their own thing. They met us for dinner. They were fun to talk to, but it was, what you sacrifice as a group leader on those big trips is a quality of golf. You just know you're not going to go up and find your best game most of the days. Fine. And that's a mistake most groups make anyway, going on these trips and expecting you're going to play like you do at home. I mean, what are you, stupid? No, you're never going to do that. So, that's my favorite part. Yeah.
So, Jason, give us your learnings. Maybe start with, what are the biggest mistakes that you see out there that people should absolutely avoid?
Gary, I think that amount of golf is a loaded subject. As I've gotten older, my group, we used to go play 36 a couple days and pack it in. And I think the biggest benefit of hiring me is you have an unbiased person that can say, that might be a little much. Or based on what you're telling me, I think you could squeeze in a par 3 here or there. Or I'm a sounding board for let's not go too crazy. I think that
it's like Berkeley, you shoot 120 already. That's one round is good enough.
I think the number one mistake, Carrie, is groups not being open to other formats or not keeping score. God forbid. Look, you're not going to go to Whistling Straits and play from the length of course you always play at home, and you're not going to play as well. The number one mistake is people getting bent out of shape. Number one problem I see is people coming on these trips with crazy expectations and competitions, and it's like, boy, you're missing the boat here. You go out there and play a two-man shamble like every round. So take the best drive and then play your own ball from there. Like, who cares? Who cares? So.
Yep. Well, I get you there because you have expectations, but it's the first time you're playing the course, so you got to temper those expectations. But I feel like I want to play my ball. You want to
play your own ball. I get it. No, I'll try to combine them. My attitude is always this: if you're going to play any extra golf, especially a second round anywhere, it's gotta be a scramble or a shamble. Gotta be, But I respect it. I want to go to Erin Hills, play my own ball, and see what I can score. I get it. It's just not the life I choose to lead. No.
That's a really good idea, though, for the if you do play a second round or a third 9 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Scramble it up.
Make it fun. And I think the biggest thing is you're there for the experience. Soak it in. Don't let any expectation on score or grinding out 3-footers distract you from where you're at. That's my number one piece of advice.
So what about the best? What makes the sickest trips in your experience, all the trips that you organize? What is it? What's the dynamic or whatever it is, the 1 or 2 parameters that makes it sick?
Why Wisconsin can fall into that category of a sick golf trip. Number one's variety. It's very difficult to go to certain areas and find the variety that Wisconsin can offer. Blackwolf Run and Whistling Straits are 2 separate clubhouses, separate courses under the same resort umbrella. They're only about 10 miles away from each other. There's not one thing that reminds you of Blackwolf Run when you walk into Whistling Straits. Not one thing. Not the clubhouse, not the courses, how they play, how they look. You go to Erin Hills, it's like you're on the moon. You've never seen anything quite like it. And then you go to Sand Valley and it's completely different. You're on a mountain of sand. You're like, where did this come from? Why is this in the middle of Wisconsin? So combination of quality and variety is really hard to compete with in Wisconsin. I tell people it's like going to play Chambers Bay, Bandon Dunes, and Pebble Beach in one trip. That's basically what coming to Wisconsin is like. So it's on that kind of like, wow, look how different all this stuff is. It's on that vein. And I'll tell you the other thing that makes it sick, in my opinion, Carrie, it's not an inexpensive trip to come to Wisconsin and do a Kohler package and throw a day and night at Erin Hills into it. But I'll tell you what, in all my travels and going around the world and seeing different courses, the one thing about Wisconsin is no one walks away from it and says, I don't get it. No one walks away from the courses or the experience and says, I just don't know why this is so exciting or why people are coming here, And that's not true of of other places, where you go play. I'm going to call out Pinehurst number 2, just the course itself, where you go play Pinehurst 2 and you hear all the U.S. Open was there, and you go out there and every green can't hold balls and the balls are falling off, and you just kind of look around and it's like, man, I just don't get this place. Why is this so exciting and popular? Nobody says that about Erin Hills or Whistling Straits or the river course of Blackwolf Run. I promise.
So interesting that you bring up Pinehurst, because we just talked to a guy about Pinehurst, and my 50th is coming up next year, and I'm like, I think Pinehurst is the place. But now you're making me think.
Listen. The experience, they've got so many courses. It's not like they're all like that. I'm just saying, for me personally, when I played Pinehurst 2 and I was on the second fairway and there was a road to the left and there were some houses to the right and I couldn't hold the greens, I'm like, what? Why are people paying so much money for this golf course? I don't get it. And then I worked the U.S. Open there a couple of years ago, except for 4 of the holes. They should, in my opinion, just blow the whole thing up and start over again. It's just not that fun. Now this is bold stuff. So I apologize to Pinehurst lovers
That is a
out
bold
there,
statement.
My problem is, if you're going to ask me a question, I'm going to give you an answer. That's one of my problems in this world. So, but going back to Wisconsin, again, no one's leaving that Kohler Erin Hills package, or if you make it up to Sand Valley, nobody's leaving those things going, I don't get it. Nobody.
So tell me this. The one thing that I cannot stand is humidity, okay? I'm not having it. My hands sweat. I just don't like it. So when is the best time to come to Wisconsin where you're not going to deal with like the crazy heat, the humidity, and you're still going to be able to get in some good weather? And
us Southern California is under 60. It's pretty cool.
Here's the blessing and curse that I deal with, guys. The curse is we're really only open 5 months a year. You would only come mid-May through mid-October in Wisconsin. And if you really want to shrink that down to May through the end of September, that's 4 months. All right. But for those 4 months to 5 months, your expectations should be very, very high. You should not expect to come and deal with high humidity or really hot temperatures or really rainy season or anything like that. That's why this area is such a popular destination. For that period of time, today it was 75 with not a stitch of wind at Erin Hills. My God, now granted, people are going to listen to this and go, my God, I had a 40-mile-an-hour wind in my face on the first tee shot. So have I. But the group I had out there today, they couldn't believe what they were looking at. Like, this place is unbelievable. I'm like, well, you're welcome. June is wonderful for tepid temperatures. The more you get into July and August, maybe you have to deal with something in the warmer range. But again, it would be unusual to come and be like, oh, it's 84 all week. I know what you're asking, Berkeley, but that's the beauty of what I've got is here in my backyard is you don't expect it.
How about bugs in the summer months?
They're out there, but nothing of the, oh my God, it's mosquito season or anything like that. There's a lot of gnats out at Whistling Straits along the water there, but nothing you plan for or stay away from.
So give me an idea of like the cost. You said it's not cheap, but what are you looking at? Like if you're going to go like a Wednesday, you get 3 days of golf in and you come back maybe Sunday night.
The one thing that people have to understand is there is a stay requirement for Whistling Straits. So to get on the Straits course at Whistling, it's a lot like Pebble. Got to stay on property at one of their hotels. It's even gotten a little bit worse where now you're required to do their full package most of the summer to get on the Straits, which doesn't really come into play much because that's what most groups want to do anyway. They want to stay on the resort for a few days and they want to play all 4 courses while they're there. That's what the package is. So 3 nights at Kohler is the minimum. And then doing a night at Erin Hills is very common. Wednesday through Sunday with 4 nights of lodging, the regular package, somewhere in the $4,400 to $5,000 a person is a very common ballpark.
That's golf and lodging, correct?
Golf and lodging. That's double occupancy at the Inn on Wood Lake. You can do it a little cheaper if you stay at a hotel near Erin Hills, cheap. But if there's one place on earth I'm okay spending a few hundred extra dollars to have my own room is at Erin Hills. Like, there's only 36 beds on property at Erin Hills. So if the 12 guys I just met this morning that stayed there last night, they said exactly what I tell people. It was like literally we own the place. Like we were the only ones, we were eating dinner and we couldn't see another human being while we were here. Like, what's going on here? I'm like, yeah, exactly. It's incredible, So it's just a very unique It feels like a mom and pop course that hosted a couple men's U.S. Open and a women's U.S. Open. Like the place is unbelievable.
So you got to do 2 trips to Wisconsin. You got to do this Kohler, and then you have to go back to Sand Valley.
People want to know if you can do them all together. Number one, first you find out about that Kohler requirement. So there's 3 nights and 3 or 4 days. You want to play Erin Hills, there's another day. So unless you're going to go beyond 5 days of golf, which is fairly uncommon these days, that's a full-scale trip.
Yeah.
You are going to split it up because Sand Valley is a couple hours away from each of the other places. And then the booking at Sand Valley is as difficult now as the booking at Bandon Dunes, where you've got to have your ducks in a row a couple years in advance. So people are calling me right now for, hey, we want to do all 3 of these things next year. And the number one first thing out of my mouth is, well, you're about 4 months late on trying to get into Sand Valley. So that's a 2028 trip if you want to talk about Sand Valley at this point. Wow. So that's my life, Berkeley. Welcome to it. I thank my lucky stars that Whistling Straits and Blackwolf Run and Erin Hills function as what I would call normal booking procedures. You know, like if you give me flexibility a year out, I will find what you want to do with those resorts. So Sand Valley is just a different animal. You have to be planning farther in advance and get lucky on getting times and stuff.
So that $4,400 to $5,000, is that including your fee or that's not?
No, including,
that's including your fee.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
cool.
The night at Erin Hills, there's no double occupancy rooms at Erin Hills. They're all single rooms. So that just bumps it up a little bit for that one night. But it's so worth it. And I try to get people to do that on the back end just to, there's no greater end. I mean, I'm telling you, if anybody watching this has a better finish to a golf trip than the following, please call me. You check out of Kohler. You play the Straits course at Whistling Straits as your last round of golf in Kohler. You have lunch. You go up to Erin Hills. You check into your cottage. You go out on the patio for dinner and you're staring at a golf course that you've never seen the like of, and you just look at it all during dinner, and then you get to go play it in the morning as your last round after spending the night. That's about as good a 24 hours as anyone in the world of golf can spend.
Wow.
Yeah. So orient me to the logistics. Where are you flying into?
Yeah, so Milwaukee Airport is pretty functional. Most airlines, most cities can get there. If groups have to go into Chicago, that only adds about an hour into the total travel distance to start a trip either at Erin Hills or Kohler. The Milwaukee Airport, you go straight north to get to Kohler. You go straight northwest to get to Erin Hills. It's a nice little Bermuda Triangle of about an hour on each side. And that's, again, one of the other things that is a big draw compared to the difficulty of getting to Bandon Dunes, compared to if you're going to play Pinehurst and go play other places off property. It's a very succinct little triangle to get around and come in and out.
And does your package offer the shuttle service, or we rent cars? And
totally up to you. That I do I'd say about 40% where I'm supplying full ground transportation for groups of 8 or more. It's very, very easy. Again, going back to that triangle, having a vendor get you from the airport, having a vendor take you to the airport, using Kohler's shuttles while you're up there, having a shuttle pick you up to take you down to Erin Hills. Very easy stuff. It's more preference. It's not so much cost-based. It's more of, do you want to have your own vehicles to explore other things, or do you want to just have me take care of it?
And Sand Valley is how far a drive from the
Sand Valley is
airport?
about 3 hours from the Milwaukee Airport. It's up in north central Wisconsin. It's easy. It's full highway all the way there. It's not like, where do we fly into Bandon Dunes and how do we get there? It's much, much easier. But it's just, like I said, it's more of a commitment. I do have groups that want to see Sand Valley and want to play some of the courses there that are doing it a la carte, where they'll add a couple rounds and stay at a hotel nearby to get some of the rounds checked off. But the only thing that's eliminated in that plan is the Lido. The Lido is the course that opened at Sand Valley 2 years ago that is pretty much the talk of the golf world on travel golf right now. It's a recreation of a course from Long Island that was destroyed 100 years ago that they painstakingly restored hole by hole, inch by inch. And wow. It's an amazing feat. The only issue is you have to be staying on property to get a tee time on the Lido. And going back to our earlier point about how hard it is to get rooms a year and a half in advance, that's the sticking point for some groups, is we want to play the Lido and we have to stay on property. That means you're planning out for 2028 at this point.
Do you find it's distinct enough from Bandon, or if like you've done Bandon, I don't need to do Sand Valley?
Oh, totally different. No, it's totally different. It's it feels different, looks different. I think about Bandon trails. what 𝐂𝐀𝐏𝐿 did there versus what they did at Sand Valley. No, not at all. Not at all. And also to give credit to what Sand Valley has done, Mammoth Dunes and Sand Valley have a completely different feel, in my opinion, versus the Lido and Sedge Valley, which opened last year, in how they play, how they feel, how you score. Mammoth Dunes, it's hard to lose a ball on. And the Lido, it's totally different. You would be shocked to think you're on the same resort. Yeah, totally different.
Burke, I'm getting I don't know if I've got enough years left in me for all these places we're learning about. I gotta go to.
We haven't even started talking about Scotland yet, where I'm booking groups regularly. That could be a whole nother podcast. So I got obsessed with Scotland years ago and launched my own website, ScottishGolfTrips.com, and I'm pushing it hard. Everybody that comes and meets me, I'm like, that's the first words out of my mouth. Hey, if you can come back to Sand Valley, or hey, what about Scotland? You haven't been to Scotland yet.
How are you doing that from Wisconsin?
Time, effort. Quick story on Scotland is a lot of people don't know that the Old Course Hotel that you hit over on that famous 17th hole, the road hole at the Old Course, is owned by the Kohler company. So Mr. Kohler purchased that hotel long ago, and if you go into the Kohler, Wisconsin website deep enough, you'll find the Old Course Hotel in Scotland on there. In the good fortunes of Jason Kauflin's life, the Old Course Hotel staff found out about me years ago, how much business I was bringing to Wisconsin, and said, how would you like to come over and learn our product over here in St. Andrews, Scotland? And I said, boy, I wonder if that would be fun or not. So I
think it's going to take me a month to learn.
I wonder. I will tell you guys, I've been back. I go to Scottish Golf Tourism Week every year. I've been back about a dozen times in the last 4 or 5 years. So that's your answer. Your answer is simple. Yeah. Jason's a master networker. And it takes a lot of face-to-face and a lot of thank you notes and a lot of handshakes to get to the point where you feel comfortable living in Wisconsin, booking trips to Scotland.
So getting back to the Wisconsin trip, when you're there on the premise, are you just staying there the whole time, or guys going to dinner, taking off and going into town? Is there a town? Is bars and stuff? What's the town like?
It's a great question. Great question. So Kohler is a kind of a suburb of Sheboygan. Sheboygan, Wisconsin is the bigger city right there on the lake. I have groups that there's a couple real popular restaurants in Sheboygan that's about 15 minutes away. So you set up a shuttle just to take them over there if they want to. But there's certainly plenty of restaurants on property and at the golf courses to have dinner 3 or 4 nights. So you don't have to go off property. And then Erin Hills is near a town called Hartford, Wisconsin. And for groups that are not looking to spend that $4,000 or $5,000, Berkeley, I do a lot of great trips that are built around a day at Erin Hills and then playing some of the other local courses around it.
Yeah.
Where you might stay in Hartford the whole time. And Hartford, man, for a home base for a group like you guys, Berkeley, it's one of those, one main light, bars and restaurants all around that main block. It's pure Wisconsin, pure fish fry, cheese curd central, it has that great feel of a small Wisconsin town. And I do a lot of good work in Hartford.
I love it.
So in your opinion, what is the ideal number of people? And what are the best formats that you've seen work amongst these groups?
That's certainly preferential. Obviously, I see a lot of 8s and 12s.
8s and 12s, okay.
Yeah, foursomes are great, but once a good foursome gets going, I think there's always that urge of, hey, my buddy wants to come, and let's each bring a guy. And I think 8's great. I think 12 is the wheelhouse, but that's just me because I'm used to booking bigger groups than that. So for me, 12 is nothing. I do groups of 16 or more. It gets into some logistical problems. You get into transportation stuff where it's like, okay, the shuttles in Kohler only hold 14 people. We've got 16. I got to set up kind of a 2-stage attack to get groups of 16 moved around. So I think 8 to 12 is great. I think that more than that takes a special group leader that wants to handle it.
Mm-hmm. So when you did 44, how did you just do a big tournament style thing, or is it everybody just going for fun?
Yeah, I personally don't plan any trips that have a competition element to them. That's just me. I think you want to do something within your foursome, great. We'll do closest to the pins. We used to do 10-hole prizes on one of the days out in Mesquite and stuff like that. In some ways, Carrie, once you get past 12, in my world as a tour operator, there's not a whole lot of difference between 16 and 40, if you know what I mean. You're dealing with bigger stuff, you're dealing with banquet menus and maybe bigger spaces for dinners. So really, once you get past a certain number, it's just collecting money and keeping track of things. I've got a group that I do every year out in Reno, Tahoe, which is another area that we kind of do on the side. We do about 15 groups a year out in Reno, Tahoe. I've got a group of 84 golfers that does a tournament every year. And They basically play the same courses. So the booking takes 10 minutes. I just call the places and say, I got the same group coming, But I get paid to keep it organized. I get paid to know who's paid and who wants an extra night or two at the hotel and who wants a suite and all that stuff. So it's very detail oriented, but luckily for me, I enjoy every aspect of it. It's like a big puzzle for me. I enjoy it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we probably should have asked it at the beginning, Kerry. What kind of golfer are you, Jay? What kind of golfer are you?
I'm a working man's 8 or 10 handicap. I didn't start out, I didn't play in college or high school, but I work hard at it. I take my lessons and work hard at it. I've got skill. I've got ability. If you saw me on the range or played in a scramble with me, you'd be like, this guy knows what he's doing. I've always said I'm the best scramble partner in history because every other shot I hit is really, really, really good. But the other thing you should know about me, Berkeley, that might blow your mind is I gave up on my modern clubs about a year and a half ago. I am playing my Hickory clubs full time right now. I am obsessed with Hickory golf. So
I don't even know what that means.
Persimmon clubs?
My clubs were built 105 years ago in Dayton, Ohio. They all have all wood shafts, and they're all authentic Hickory golf clubs. So
what?
Yes.
Wait,
yes,
hold on. With the driver is like this small, like the wood head driver?
It's a small wooden head. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot smaller than what you guys are playing. So, there's a whole contingent of guys, Berkeley, here in Wisconsin, that we have Hickory tournaments every other weekend, and we dress the part. We get the +4s going and the ties and the whole thing. So,
what's funny about that is I put a sim in my house, I don't know, 2.5 years ago. So I remember when I started golf, those were just getting out, right?
They were.
But the persimmon heads. So I got one just for fun. I can't even hit the ball. I can't even hit the ball.
Why I enjoyed it, what I realized was once I got a set given to me to try, I realized I was already playing Hickory style golf with modern clubs. And what I mean by that is I was knocking drivers down. I was sawing things off. I was bumping, running a 9-iron from 100 yards if I could, because I just found like that was fun to do. I like to keep control of my swing. I'd rather shorten it up and keep it compact and keep the ball in play, and that's what the Hickory game is. And there's, as any Hickory player will tell you, the first time you take a driver and put it right on, when they say on the screws, they mean it. There's 4 screws on the face of my driver. It is captivating. It is enticing. Like, man, I can't believe how good that felt. And I had the fortune of playing the Straits course at Whistling Straits on Thursday of last week with my Hickory clubs. It is not a very fun Hickory course. There's not a lot of give in the Straits course at Whistling Straits, but I was driving the ball like an absolute madman. I was popping it I was hitting as far as I could hit it on most holes, which was really fun, which is about 250. I can max out at 250, 260 with a Hickory driver. So I'm a long hitter. I just don't know where it's going half the time.
If you go back to the modern clubs, I would think then you'd be like a scratch golfer.
I can, like I said, I hitting the ball 290 is not hard for me to do with a modern driver. It's just I don't know where it's going half the time. So it's like I said, no, I have a lot of skill. I just didn't grow up playing. The nerves get to me. If I got a good ground going, I'll get sweaty. The whole thing. My daughter grew up as a competitive golfer, and she and I talk about the different mentalities all the time. She's executing 70-yard wedges at all times, and I'm bumping running it because my hands are sweaty and I'm nervous because I got a good round going. That's the difference. No, I would not have guessed that I would have given up my modern club. You know what I realized, Berkeley? I'm good, but I'm not good enough to keep going back and forth between a metal shaft and a wood shaft. It's a totally different swing. And I just didn't enjoy the struggle of going back and forth, and I just decided I had more fun playing the Hickory clubs.
And to me, it's amazing that you can still hit the ball just as hard or far.
You're not indoctrinated until you snap a couple, so I have broken a couple, snapped a couple shafts right in half, but it's amazing how much torque you can put on a ball and how much power you can put into a shot with a piece of wood. Kerry, I've got some iron shafts that are the original iron, that still have the original stamp in them that has not been touched. So I hold on to them like my prized possessions now. Like the last thing you'd want to do is snap one in half, but it'll come. It happens.
You know what I'm surprised about? Is it's kind of like, why haven't a new version, a modern type version of a Hickory club come out?
I view it as I'm dressing what I'd call modern Hickory chic. I like to wear my hat, but I like to look good too. Like I'm going to Scotland with kind of a half Hickory, half modern look, which I really like. It's fun. But no, the number one thing you give up switching to a Hickory club, Berkeley, is expectations. That's the biggest difference. And I just go out now thinking about shaping shots, left to right, right to left, high, low, and I'm trying to manipulate shots. I'm not thinking about my swing planes and my hands and all that stuff. And it just has freed me up to enjoy the game more, plain and simple.
Yeah.
Well, this has been awesome, Jason.
Yeah.
Really appreciate you coming on. This has been a really good perspective. Usually we do like a six scoring framework and stuff, but obviously since this is a little bit of different episode,
A little different.
we'll just kind of ask you, okay, we're coming to Wisconsin. What's number one? What do we do? And how do you compare that if you were well, sell us on Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Sell us the trip.
Again, let's go to the Golf Digest Top 100 list. I mean, people are stunned to hear that I have more in my state than any other place. When they did that, there was a ranking a few years ago on Golf Channel where they had the best state for public golf on Golf Digest or Golf Week, and we beat out Georgia and the Georgians freaked out. They were like, wait, we're open 12 months a year. This place has snow under it half the time. Like, there's no way. That's a testament to how good it is during our summer months and the quality of the air, the lack of humidity. The accessibility is a big factor. Again, going back to quality and quantity, variety, it's really hard to compete with. I think that as your first trip, I find it hard pressed that you're not going to want to play the Straits course that had the Ryder Cup. That means you're going to play a full package in Kohler with the 2 courses at Whistling Straits and the 2 courses at Blackwolf Run. Adding Erin Hills and having those 5 courses into the mix, you're talking about 5 of the top 100 courses in the country, all in one little succinct little area. So it's magic. It really is. Kohler is basically a hospitality company that happens to have 4 of the greatest golf courses in the world there. Their whole mantra is all service-based and hospitality-based. So you're well treated, plain and simple. And again, living here, you don't really focus on the hospitality or the charm of people in Wisconsin, but everybody that comes from other areas, they say it to me. They're like, man, just everybody's so friendly, and it just puts you at ease and hopefully makes you swing the club a little bit better, right, Berkeley? You need all the help you can get sometimes.
Yep, you absolutely do, man. Absolutely do. I love it. I love what you said, man. Carrie, this is a big decision, I think, trying to figure out really where we want to go, because we got to put together our first sick golf trip. We got to figure out where we're going to go. You know what I mean? I really
We forgot to ask you though, Jason, for key for Berkeley. Are these walking courses or cart courses?
Yeah.
That's a very important question. Yeah. So Erin Hills and the Straits course at Whistling Straits are walking only.
Okay, bye-bye. Hey, guys, I got to go. hey, Berkeley, I love it. Hey, I got to go. Bye.
Berkeley, you won't like this one. All the courses at Sand Valley are walking only. So Sand Valley's a tough trip. It's a tough trip. You're taking carts. The other 3 courses in Kohler are all carts, all buggies.
Yeah, but you can get a caddy that carries your bag.
Oh, for sure. No, these are all that price I gave you includes caddy fees and not gratuities, but it includes caddies for all the courses, whether it's a walking caddy or a 4 caddy. Yeah, you've always got somebody with you to tell you where to go and how the hole plays. And the reason why we keep Erin Hills until the end, Berkeley, is the walk at the Straits there's some up and downs, but it's pretty benign relatively. But Erin Hills, woo, daddy. That is it's about as hard a walk as you can make on a golf course anywhere on the planet.
Oh, you're going to have to do some training, bro.
Got to train it up.
Well, Jay, man, I just got 2 full knee replacements in the last year and a half.
So you're ready to go. You're ready to go then.
I'll just sprint the whole thing. I'll just be running. Caddy will be like,
actually,
slow
Berkeley,
down, guys, slow down.
They have those exoskeletons now that help you walk, right?
Yep. Well, hey, as long as I got a caddy, and I'm not carrying my bag, okay, that'll help.
You'll be fine.
That definitely will help.
You'll be fine.
You know what I mean?
This is awesome. I guess the last question for you, Jason, is we have like a run it back mod where we say, hey, is it an annual lock? Is it a rotational classic? One and done, rebuild and run, lightning in a bottle. Where do you find your groups fall into? Are these kind of annual locks? You get the same group doing it all over again?
No.
Or is it if they rotate this in every 4 or 5 years?
Yeah,
or is it like, okay, I've done it once, I'm good?
No. Wisconsin's definitely in the rotation mix. And I've been doing this long enough where I'm now on to like the 3rd trip for a group. Hey, we did Kohler and Erin Hills back in the day, and we haven't been to Sand Valley or whatever it is. So no, I view Wisconsin as more of it's in that competition with the Pebbles and the Pinehursts and the Bandons. Unless you live right next to it, you're not going every year. The people that go to Bandon every year are usually from the Pacific Northwest, and they get good deals and they can get on. But the Wisconsin scene I am doing a lot of business with, this is how we do Kohler, Erin Hills, and now you get on my list, and the following year you do Sand Valley and Lasonia and Century World and the other courses up in the northern part of the state. That is That's becoming more common. Like I said, me and my guys, we'll drop in a $4,000 or $5,000 trip once every 4 or 5 years on our group, but we're a little bit low key compared to that. I'd be shocked if a group came and did Wisconsin and said, let's do the exact same thing again next year. That'd be very surprising because they're probably going to Ireland or Scotland or Pinehurst or something like that.
Awesome. So Burke,
Yeah.
FOMO, where's this ranking for you?
Dude, this is super high on my list now because I also see this as bringing the wife and the kids, right? Is that something you could do? I mean, it seems like no kids.
I haven't seen a non-golfing kid come anytime recently, Berkeley. No, I don't think the Kohler Erin Hills trip is the right thing for a wife and a kid, but that's just me.
No, hey, I get that. But look, man, I'm really excited about looking into Wisconsin more. Carrie, seriously, I think we need to look into this, check it out. But I'm giving it a solid 8-9. Yeah. I don't mind the walk-in now, so it's all right. As long as you got a caddy, that's good.
No,
as long as someone's carrying your bag.
Yeah.
As long as, I'll thin my bag out, take all the balls out and all that, so keep it nice and light. Biggest thing is you, Jason, have you deal with everything. And everybody has the itinerary. We look up on our phone. Everybody knows what's going on. And I love what you do for work. I love it. Absolutely love it.
It's very rewarding, Berkeley. It's got its long days. It's got its hassles. And like you pointed out early, Berkeley, because I put myself out there, I'm doing these podcasts. When you go on my website, what's the first picture you see if you go to my website? It's a picture of me standing there. And that was intentional. Do you think I need to sell people on getting excited to come play Whistling Straits in Erin Hills? No, you need to know I know what the hell I'm doing. That's the key thing of the website. And when you do that, people feel like they can call you about anything, and they do. And again, I can't increase the Wi-Fi speed at a hotel, which was asked of me one time, but I can go above and beyond as much as I can for a group. Yes. Yeah.
It's 3 a.m. Hey, Jason, can you turn this hot water on?
I don't even want to talk to you about some of the stuff that happens. Yeah. No, but I just believe this in my heart, guys. Again, now the more I've traveled around the world and seen things, especially for a trip that's not inexpensive, why not make sure it's done right? And I truly believe this, guys. I truly believe that the Kohler website, if you go and start looking at their packages or Whistling Straits or trying to get information, I think they make it confusing on purpose so that you have to pick up the phone and call and talk to Kohler. It's not the easiest thing, that requirement and how those packages work, guys. This is where the benefit of using me is knowing how those things work and how to get the most bang for your buck,
Yeah,
I'm putting this right up there with Pinehurst. You're really making me think now because
you guys are young pups. There's plenty of time to plan. Don't worry, I'll be here when you guys get to Wisconsin. Whether it's next year or the year after, we'll be here.
It seems to me if we want to come out there, we need to do something now for 28.
No. The story I tell, Berkeley, is Northern Ireland. I fell in love with Northern Ireland years ago, and then once the British Open started going to Royal Portrush, and once Royal County Down. No outside person can get tee times at Royal Portrush. You can't just call and get 12 guys on. They evaporate the day they go for sale.
Yeah.
If Whistling Straits and Erin Hills were that, I'd be mowing grass professionally or something. I'd be no, this is too much. But there's demand. You can't wait until 6 months before, but I think 12 months, even 9 to 12 months. You give me some flexibility on dates, I will find the package that you guys want. If you call me right now for June 1st and after for 2027, I will find a package that works for what we're looking for.
Next May,
great. The last couple weeks of May 2027 would be my first recommendation, 100%. However, the Erin Hills is hosting the U.S. 4-ball in May of next year. So there's just a little workaround. End of May would work still fine, but the middle of May is Erin Hills would be out.
That's what I'm playing around with because Pinehurst, they're hosting something March 15th to 17th. And then I got an event on the start of April. So I'm I want to make it work, but I don't know. And then, so we'll see.
I've got some groups booked for May 8th, 9th, in that range. I used to be scared off by it, Carrie. The last couple summers, it's been June 1st on May 1st. It was 75 degrees on March 5th, or April.
That's perfect.
May 5th. It was why wouldn't you come in May? So I think that if you have Memorial Day available to you in your personal lives, that's the best weekend to come, for sure. Because it's quiet. Wow. It's much more quiet.
All right. Well, one last question. We'll have to have you back for Scotland as well.
I love it.
Scotland versus Ireland. Real quick, how do you compare?
Easy. Scotland is 5 distinct areas that you can go and hunker down in and be in one and do an entire trip in. For me personally, when I look at Ireland and you look at the courses you want to check off on a trip, There's just too much driving and too much time in the vehicles to get them all played. That's the biggest difference. And again, compared to flying into Edinburgh and being an hour away from St. Andrews, you're flying into Dublin and you're 3.5 to 4 hours away from where you're going to be going. And that to me is the biggest difference of Ireland versus Scotland.
Jives with exactly what we heard.
I have fallen in love for Scotland for that reason. That we went to Aberdeen, just Aberdeen last month with 24 guys, 24 golfers, stayed in the hotel in downtown Aberdeen and used it as our home base and had an unbelievable golf trip. You do not need to drive to other areas if you don't want to. And that's the beauty of Scotland.
Thanks again,
Hey,
Jason,
guys,
for
thanks
joining.
so
This has been awesome.
Appreciate
really
it.
good information.
Appreciate you having me, and best of luck to you guys, and just let me know what I can help with.
For sure.
Absolutely. Thank
All
you.
right, Burke, why don't you close us out?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Oh my God, this was awesome today. It seems like every show is getting better and better and better with information. And please, everyone, we'll put Jason's website up, and make sure you hit your like button and subscribe, because we want to get this out to everyone. Everyone needs to know all the ins and outs of all these trips, and people have a lot of great information. So once again, thank you, everyone. Have a great week of golf, and we'll see you soon.
All right. Thanks all. Thanks, Jason.
Thanks, guys.